So each legume species is associated with a particular strain of Rhizobium. So up here, the Rhizobium bacteria emit chemical signals that the roots attract Rhizobium. The bacteria then emit signals that stimulate root hairs to elongate and to form an infection thread by an invagination of the plasma membrane. Okay, so here's the infection thread. Then the bacteria here, through this infection thread, penetrate the cortex. Within the infection thread, cells of the cortex and pericycle, down here, begin dividing, and vesicles containing the bacterial bud into cortical cells from the branching infection thread. So this results in the formation of a bacteroid. Okay? Then growth continues over here in the infected regions of the cortex and pericycle, and these two masses of dividing cells fuse, forming a nodule. So here's a bacteroid with a developing root nodule here, and here is the root nodule with the bacteroid. So the nodule develops vascular tissue that supplies nutrients to the nodule, sugar, and carries nitrogenous compounds from the nodule into the vascular cylinder to be distributed throughout the plant. Okay, so it's a two-way, they are mutualistic. So symbiotic nitrogen fixation in agriculture. Crop rotation takes advantage of the agricultural benefits of symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So maize is not in the pea family, and it's planted one year. Then the next year, a legume, a plant in the pea family, is planted to recentration, and this is of nitrogen. So this is called crop rotation. So mycorrhizae, or mutualistic association of the fungi, mycorrhizae, and roots. So the fungus, the mycorrhizae, benefits from a steady supply of sugar from the host plant, just like the Rhizobium does. The host plant benefits because the fungus increases the surface area for water uptake and mineral absorption. Okay? And we've talked about this in previous chapters when we talked about roots. So there are two types of mycorrhizae, ectomycorrhizae and endomycorrhizae. So in the ectomycorrhizae, the mycelium of the fungus forms a dense sheath over the root, okay, over the surface of the root. So here you can see it covering the epidermis, and it can grow between the cells. So the fungal hyphae between the cortical cells. Okay, so mycorrhizae. The next one, endomycorrhizae, microscopic fungal hyphae extend into the root. Okay, so here you can see it extending into the cells, and here is a light micrograph, a stained specimen. You can see that. So no mantle forms around the root, but the microscopic fungal hyphae extend into the root within the root cortex and makes extensive contact with the plant through a lot of branching, providing a either greater surface area for nutrient swapping. The hyphae penetrate the cell walls, but not the plasma membranes or cells within the cortex. So farmers and foresters often inoculate seeds with fungal spores to promote formation of the mycorrhizae, since it's beneficial. Okay, now talking about some different types of plants. Epiphytes, parasitic plants, and carnivorous plants. So they have nutritional adaptations that use other organisms in non-mutualistic ways. So an epiphyte means it nourishes itself but grows on another plant, usually anchored to branches or trunks of living trees. So epiphytes absorb water and minerals from rain mostly through leaves rather than roots. And some examples are the staghorn fern, bromeliads, and many orchids are this way too. So this is growing in the branch of this tree, and it's absorbing its minerals, nutrients, water through the leaves. So, actually, this middle ones are parasitic plants. These bottom ones are carnivorous plants. So, mistletoe is a photosynthetic parasite. Unlike epiphytes, parasitic plants absorb sugars and minerals from their living host, although some parasitic species are photosynthetic, like mistletoe. Okay, this middle one, again, ignore this epiphyte, sorry. Dodder is a non-photosynthetic parasite. The orange stings on this pickleweed draw its nutrients from the host. Okay. And then this Indian pipe is a non-photosynthetic parasite. It can also be called a ghost flower. Absorbs nutrients from the fungal hyphae of mycorrhizae of green plants. Okay, and you see these in the fall around here. And then the bottom ones are carnivorous plants. So they are photosynthetic but attain some nitrogen and minerals by killing and digesting insects and other small animals. Okay? They live in acid bogs and habitats where soils are poor in nitrogen. So various insect traps consist of modified leaves, usually equipped with glands that secrete digestive enzyme. So this is a Venus flytrap, triggered by electrical impulses from the sensory hairs. 2 leaf lobes close in half a second. The middle one are pitcher plants, and these have water-filled funnels, and the insects drowned and then are digested by enzymes. And then lastly, the sundews. They have a sticky fluid that glitters like dew, and insects get stuck to the leaf hairs, which enfold the prey. And Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens has a nice display of all of these carnivorous plants.